Dutch-American coach Thomas Rongen has been relegated to lead the American Samoa national football team, and he is not happy about it. Considered to be one of the weakest football teams in the world, they're an extremely long shot to qualify for the 2014 FIFA World Cup. It's next goal wins. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. All right, this is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing Next Goal Wins. Next Goal Wins, written by Iain Morris and Taika Waititi, directed by Taika Waititi, starring Michael Fassbender, Oscar Knightley, Kaimana, David Fane, Rachel House, Beaulah Koale, Will Arnett, and Elizabeth Moss. It is just me today. All right. Next Goal Wins is about the American Samoa national soccer team, who was notoriously very bad. They once put up a score of 31-0, or they once were bested by the Australian national team by a score of 31-0, making them effectively the worst national soccer team of all time. They are then called upon to, a soccer coach who is down on his luck, not doing so well. I forget the character's name, but he's played by Michael Fassbender. He is recruited to come in and kind of turn this team around. This movie, when it started, I remember I watched it and I was like, oh, this is Cool Runnings. This is Cool Runnings. And as it kept going, I was like, okay, Cool Runnings and Mighty Ducks. And it felt like it was built for millennials like me, just a good sports movie that's meant to make you feel good. It's set on American Samoa, but it is actually filmed in Hawaii, which kind of lends itself to these very beautiful and idyllic scenes where, everyone's running around playing soccer, everything's green and lush, they're by the water, and we get to see like kind of all of this beautiful culture and beautiful people. And I enjoyed all of those parts of the movie, just seeing them interact, watching them do the haka, seeing them run around playing soccer, all of that. That was great. Other than that, I thought this movie was just kind of mid. It was just very unsatisfying in that it does the thing, it does the sports montage thing, and it has them, working hard to try to make the qualifiers, because the whole plot of the movie is that they want to be able to score one goal or make the qualifying game for the World Cup, and that's really what they're excited to do. And just as the film kind of goes on, it kind of like sets me up to say like, hey, this is it looks like they can do it. This is a story in which, again, when you sets up with a Mighty Duck storyline, it kind of puts you in a mindset of saying, like, this is about winning. When it no longer becomes about winning, I don't really have a problem with it not being about winning, but it just felt like it was a bit of a bait and switch. It was like, yeah, this movie's about winning, or is it? Or is it about camaraderie? And at that point, I feel like there's other films that have done a better job of being about camaraderie than this one, like, say, Coach Carter or Friday Night Lights. Both of those are films in which, it's really about the team coming together or accomplishing goals or doing something despite, like, the situation or despite, kind of their circumstances, if you will. Whereas this one, it just feels like they didn't necessarily accomplish it on the same level as the others. Also, while it is Taika Waititi, I feel like his shtick is kind of starting to grind on me a bit. Not saying that it's not funny. There are parts that I laughed out loud. It just seems like he uses his humor a bit as a crutch, and I still want to see him expand a little. He loves to start movies with his narration and kind of say, hey, I'm going to tell you a story and do kind of like this, just like kind of dim-witted narrator thing. And I don't necessarily think it's serving him as well as he thinks it is, or if he even thinks that it is. And so like watching his movies, it just feels like there is a lot of feel good. There is a lot to like about them. And to be clear, if you watch this, if this was on streaming, I think that people would really enjoy this at their homes. Like sitting at your house, watching this on the couch, it's good, but it's going to disappear from your mind within seconds. Like there's nothing about it that sticks with you so much that it feels like it's like good for the genre or moving anything forward. I mean, Taika Waititi did a sports movie, which for him, I'm sure he's like, what, me do a sports movie? That's wild. That's wild. And me watching it, it's just, because when I think about Taika Waititi's the first movie I saw that he did was, it was the one with, the Nazis in Germany, and it was up for an Oscar. Jojo Rabbit. It was Jojo Rabbit, which I really enjoyed that movie. But now it feels like since that movie, he's gotten a lot more opportunities, including 2 Thor movies. And I just don't know that I've seen that he's grown that much as a director, which isn't like really a slight to him because he's already in like, I would say, top-notch form. But now watching this one, it felt just a little more stale seeing this viewpoint again. That being said, there's still a lot of fresh things about this. Like one, that they're doing a movie about American Samoa that is like, treating Samoans with dignity and care in a way that I appreciate, and we don't get to see often, and we should like applaud when it actually happens. So I feel good about that. I guess I kind of just feel conflicted about it just being kind of a meh movie. You know what I mean? Like, I won't think about this much again. So yeah, with that being said, I think it's like 2.5 of 5 stars, maybe. And that's not to say I wouldn't watch it again, but I'm just, there's nothing really exciting about it. There was a subplot involving a trans character that I think they did their best on, but it made me wonder about the real story and wondering if they really did justice to this character, because I just don't know that they did from what I watched. I think there was also a bit of there's a lot of the magical Negro trope. There was some white saviorism that I think they tried to sidestep, but there was some like magical Negroism in this, with the Samoans being like that for Michael Fassbender's character. But also I think like this trans character was kind of roped into some of that as well, where she is now being used as a way to show the change around her, which I don't think that's fair. And I don't like that they use marginalized characters in that way. So I'd give it a 2.5 of 5 stars. Not my favorite, but it wasn't terrible. And if you see it on streaming, check it out. But yeah, with that, Leaving the Theater is a production of OhitsBigRon Studios. Alexandra Ketch of Bias Studios mixes the show. Thank you, Alex. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about Next Goal Wins, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Threads at OhitsBigRon. That's at OhitsBigRon. You can find out more about this show and other OhitsBigRon Studios shows by following us on Instagram at OhitsBigRon Studios and on Twitter at OhitsBigRon Stu. That's STEW. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening.